Okay, Mas Firman, Mas Dwiky, can we begin?
Okay, let's start soon, Mas Andri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to our TVD program this afternoon. Please use the virtual background and mute your audio as the TVD program is about to begin. The Honorable Director of Valuation, Mr. Arik Haryono, dear all distinguished colleagues and participants, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andri Setia Budi. It's a precious chance for me to be your MC on this extraordinary occasion, TVD session about Ministerial Scholarship 2022 and its Predeparture Training. Very interesting. Do we also have a chance to get it? How? What needs to be prepared? But we are lucky, because today Mas Dwiky will share the top secret to achieve it. Are you interested? Let's see. But before that, I will read out the agenda. And also before that, let's make a silent moment and pray. Let's the prayer begin. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our agenda today is sharing, which will be led by the speaker, Mas Dwiky, of course, and then question and answer session. It's an honor to introduce you to our moderator. Been working in Ministry of Finance for 12 years and his bachelor degree from Universitas Indonesia. Please welcome Mas Firman Ardi.
Okay, thank you, Mas Andri, as master of ceremony today. Carrying on the next part, I will accompany you through the whole event presentation until question and answer session afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker today is Mas Dwiky Anggawan Pradiptya Putra, and we might call him Mr. Dwiky in brief, Mas Dwiky. He is one of the best employee in Directorate of Valuation, with academic background of being alumni of Faculty of Technique from ITB Bandung. So he became one of the best valuable asset or best valuable human resource in Directorate of Valuation, of course. Is that true, Mr. Dwiky? Having passion in sport as well as basketball not stopped him from reaching high degree education through scholarship program. So it's a decision inviting him to share about Ministerial Scholarship 2022 and its pre-departure. And then how its requirement, the process, and other interesting information related. Before the presentation start, let me tell you how the presentation will go. First, Mr. Dwiky will be invited to present the material. Of course, he is in the middle of us. After that, there will be a question and answer session followed by conclusion. All the participants may ask directly with raised hand, or you can type or hit the chat column on the column in this Zoom meeting. Now allow me to welcome the speaker to make his presentation. Please welcome Mr. Dwiky. Time is yours. Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you much for the opportunity.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a little bit curious about how do you know about my little biography, and I think you're too exaggerating. I think. Um, well, let me check it first. Is my voice audible enough? Mas Firman, please confirm.
Okay. It's clear enough.
Okay,
Mr.
cool.
Dwiky, Mas Dwiky. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. First of all, I would like to create some officials that attend into this event. To the Honorable Mr. Ari Kareno, Director of Valuations, if you are here, and then to the Honorable Bu Indri, and all the officials and employees at Directorate of Valuations, and all of the participants who joined to this online event. I would like to say good afternoon to all of you, and hope you are all in a good condition, healthy, and always be happy at home. Um, Before going forward in the presentation, I want to confirm about the visibility of my presentation slide. Can it be seen?
Yes. Clear, Mas. Yeah. Clear, Mas Dwiky. Go on.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, well, today I'll commence my presentation slide with a little bit introduction about me. For those who don't know me, my name is Dwiky Anggawan Pradiptya Putra, and people usually call me Dwiky. And currently I'm working for a Directorate General of Asset Management, Ministry of Finance. And to be specific, I was assigned as a staff at Directorate of Valuations under the Subdirectorate of Property Valuation Policy. And I've been working here for 4 years, since 2019. And today I'm going to share my experience or my story about on how I participated and into the selection process of Ministerial Scholarship. Yeah, actually last year I applied into this scholarship, and then luckily I was awarded this scholarship, and then I had the opportunity or chance to join into the pre-departure training program for almost 3 months. And yeah, actually, why am I doing this? The reason is because back in the days, if I'm not mistaken, several weeks ago, Mr. Alec Haryono just came into my work zone in the office, and then he just said like, Vicky, before you go study abroad, you have to like share something or speak something in the TVD event. So yeah, Foila, I think now is the right time for me to fulfill that expectation. And then the second reason is hopefully by sharing my experience, it can motivate you to be more prepared to apply the scholarship, because probably the tips from me probably will be beneficial or useful for you. Okay. Yeah. This is the outline about. Well, sorry. Well, this is the outline of my presentation. This is the outline of my presentation. I will begin this session by talking about the MENS 2022, or MENS actually is the abbreviation of Ministerial Scholarship and its requirements. And then I will go forward with the schedule of MENS 2022. Probably you can use it as your benchmark to prepare yourself to apply to this scholarship this year. And then next, I'm going to talk about the selection process of this scholarship. I mean, like there will be like several main stages that you have to step in and pass. And after that, I'm going to discuss about I'm going to show you about the data about Ministerial Scholarship 2022. It's about the, I think, a little bit of a statistic on what number or percentage that the participant at this at the certain stages of the selection process. And I will conclude this presentation with show you some pre-departure training documentations that I have just to, yeah, again, motivate you all. Well, to begin with, I'm going to start with what actually means is, as I mentioned earlier, that means is the abbreviation of Ministerial Scholarship, and this is actually the new term that that began to be promoted at 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, before this scholarship, probably for the senior employee, you are more familiar with the VETA or Spirit. Actually, they are all the same. Actually, it is the scholarship that provided by the Ministry of Finance and managed under the VETA. VETA is a Financial Education and Training Agency in Ministry of Finance. And the scholarship fund the awardee to go to continue their education to higher level. I mean, like the master degrees or doctoral degree. And what means a difference from the other scholarship is means only fund the awardee to study abroad. It is like a bit different with Fat and Spirit, which I heard the scholarship have have another option, like the awardee can continue their study into like linkage program or even domestically. So yeah, means only for the awardee that want to study. Are there any special requirements to apply to this scholarship? Let me remember it first. Actually, this some of the requirements. I mean, like the general requirement from the scholarship is the program that you want, the program that you choose to continue your education should be included or stated in the Human Capital Development Program. It is in the ministerial level regulation, if I'm not mistaken, and the university that you will choose to be your candidate university has to belongs to the top 30 world ranking university in the world. Yeah, world university, and you are not allowed to apply other than the top 50 world ranking university by subject. It is the general requirement. As I mentioned before, the targeted subject for this scholarship is only for ministerial and Ministry of Finance employees. And the specific requirement to apply into this scholarship is you have to be included or listed as the talented employee group. It can be categorized like if you are an inspiring employee or best employee and you have the certificate, yes, you can apply to this program. Or probably you are the employee that who active in the scientific publication, or you are in or you are the winner of the competition that held internally. I mean, like for the echelon 1 unit level, or nationally, or even international level. And yeah, actually, if you are a DJKN or DCN employee, there's an MTB. MTB is Management Talenta Beasiswa, and if you are listed in the MTB, you are automatically eligible to apply into this scholarship, because it can belong to the talented employee group. So yeah, I think it's like the upside of being a digital employee. And next, I'm going to talk about the schedule of Ministerial Scholarship 2022. yeah, as you can see at the um, as you can see at the at your screen, that it is actually started on the April 2022 and then ended and at July 2022. And the process is you have which you have to apply into you have to apply it online, and then via semantic, and then you have to be proposed by your S1 unit through Secretariat Directorate General, and then you have to pass the administration process, and then there are several main stages of the selection process, and it took more or less about 3 months to finish the selection process. Well, let's talk about the main selection of the main selection process of this scholarship. Well, first you actually have to pass the administration process, and then after you pass it, and then you will go to the next step, which is aptitude test and English proficiency test. Actually, aptitude test is just like the same like the TPA, but I think it is like more difficult than the auto Bapenas. Um, I think some of the prompts just like similarly like the GRE prompt. If you don't GRE is like the TPA, but in English, and mostly university in US require this as one of their requirements. Back to this, actually the aptitude test that you have to pass uh, that you have to pass is consists of the verbal reasoning test, and then numerical test, and then figural test. So I think for the verbal reasoning test, it's like a bit different with the auto because like um, some of the prompt is just like common, like um, um, there will be a reading passage, probably consists of 2 or 3 paragraphs, and then one of the prompts will be like, okay, the paragraph before paragraph 1 will be talking about something, or the other prompt is just like, what is the tone of the author about this passage, or like you will be given about the several statements, and you have to choose whether the statement that can weaken or strengthen the objective of the author at the passage. That's one of the examples of the propositioning test. And about the numerical, I think it's just almost the same like the autobagnas. If you ever took or if you ever practice this kind of numerical problem. And about the figural listening test, if I'm not mistaken, um, I think it's a bit more challenging than autobagnas because like for instance, like there will be like 4 boxes, and then each box has like a different 6 figures, and and each box has like a different pattern of each figures, and then you have to like guessing the 5th box. Yeah, I think actually it took me like a longer time to analyze it because like many figures, but yeah, because this was the test, you were limited by time. That's for the aptitude test, and then after the aptitude test on the morning session, and then the afternoon session will be English proficiency test. Actually, it was almost similar with TOEFL ITP, and it consists of listening, reading, and structure part. Um, but some of the prompts or some of the problem will be more difficult because like again you have to like guessing about what is the tone of the author, or probably is there any statements listed below that will weaken or strengthen the idea or the objective of the author. Well, if you pass the aptitude test and English proficiency test, the next there will be a psychometric test, Actually, this is the probably common psychometric test, because I ever had it when I was a candidate or student at the university in 2009. Um, this test actually consists of the graphic test. I mean, like you have to draw a person, and a tree in my case, yeah. And then uh, the other part is there are numerical reasoning tests, verbal reasoning tests, figure reasoning tests, and then yeah, there will be a part of this test that you have to test your ability to memorize. Yeah, like there will be a map, and then in that map there will be many figures at the different position, and you have to remember it. And then suddenly after 10 minutes after 5 or 10 minutes you try to remember it, and then all the objects was gone, and then you have to like memorize, okay, at this position this object B at the position, and something like that. And the other psychometric test is about the personality test. Actually, there will be some prompt that you have to choose whether you agree or disagree, or do you strongly agree or strongly disagree, just like that. And then at the last test will be like it's like a polytest. Polytest is like you have to count the simple what we call simple number or simple figures, but in the limited time, and you have to count it fast. It's just like this test is trying to test your consistency, I think, and then and also your you have to scrutinize your answer. And then after you pass the psychometric test, there will be a final selection process or final stage. There will be interview test. Actually, if you are selected into this final stage, you have to make like one piece essay. That this essay content about the background, why you choose the program. For instance, why you choose the Master of Public Policy program, and then why you choose that university, and then in that essay you should talk about your research plan, and then how it is relevant or contributed to your organization. If you can connect it with your S1 unit, probably you can connect it with the Ministry of Finance. So yeah, that's the main point. And you will be interviewed by the Echelon 2 officials across unit. I mean, like if you are the DGSM employee, you are there will be no Echelon 2 officials from the DGSM that going to interview you. And yeah, as because of this interview, this was so dynamic, and it also depends on your answer, how you answer, and also on how the content of your essay. Well, starting from right now, let's talk about the data for each selection stage that I got from the data as employee. Well, the number of applicants on this magnetic or on this Mantic or online application, there will be almost 380 employees from Ministry of Finance that want to apply it to the master degree, and then 81 employees that who wants to apply doctoral degree. The fun fact is, if you're looking at the bar chart about the applicants proposed by unit Echelon 1, there will be like a gap, yeah, because not all of the applicants that apply through the semantic proposed by their unit, their Echelon 1 unit. And the data is 360 about the master's degree, and then 77 for the doctoral degree. And then looking at the how many applicants that had passed the admission process. It is about the almost the 340 for the master degree, and then 76 for the doctoral degree. Yeah, probably we can compare about the number of participants that had passed the round one. Round one is the Aptitute and English Proficiency test. For the master degree, after 333, the number of the participants that passed this round is only almost 100 for the master degree, and then 11 for the doctoral degree. So it's so really significant, tremendously significant. And then the number of participants that had passed the round two psychometric test is 68 for the master degrees and 9 for the for the doctoral degree. And then for the final, the participant that had passed the final selection or the interview test is 52 for the master's degree and 4 for the PhD degree or doctoral degree. So from this data, we can see the success rate for the master degree is about 14% and PhD candidate is about 5%. For me personally, the number, the figures for PhD candidate is really shocking for me, so surprising. And yeah, this is the data about the Aptitute and English Proficiency test score. If you're looking at the score of English Proficiency of 56 awardees of the Ministerial Scholarship 2022, the average score is about 500, almost 540, and the highest is about 600, and the lowest is around 500. And then about the aptitude test score, the average is about 650, and the highest score is nearly 735, and the minimum score is 570. Me personally, yeah, luckily I have the score above the average, although it's not the highest. Well, the next data will be the facts, some facts about this 56 Ministerial Scholarship 2022 awardees. As you can see on the bar chart, that the awardees, Director General of Taxes contribute the highest percentage of their employees that can they were awarded the scholarship. It's almost 50%, and then followed by the Inspectorate General in about a fifth, about a fifth, and then Sejen almost 15%. Regional DCSM contribute 13%, which awardees given this scholarship. And then looking at the targeted education level, more than 90% of the awardee want to apply into the master degree, and then 7% into the doctorate degree. And then approximately 60% of the awardees are male, and then almost 40% female. And then regarding the job position of the awardee, like almost 80% are staff, and then only 1% or 2% head sections, and the other is a specialist. A specialist is jabatan fungsional. And the other facts about this 56 Ministerial Scholarship awardee is like after we've been awarded the scholarship, we have, as the consequences, we have to follow the pre-departure training program, and it consists of some mandatory class like the IELTS preparation class, because like at the beginning, Ministerial Scholarship didn't require us to have IELTS score. It's like a difference with the LPDP. So the other mandatory classes are research method and then statement of purpose class. I think this is more the most I think this is also the important or indispensable class for us as Awardee, because we want to apply into the university, and mostly university in US and UK require us to be able to submit the essay or talking about our motivation and then our objective, why we applied into that program and so on. This is usually called the statement of purpose. And then there is also research proposal class. This is more related to the doctoral degree candidate or PhD candidate, because if you want to apply to the PhD program, you have to looking for your the candidate of a supervisor, and then you have to also make your own research proposal. And then the other mandatory classes of cross cultural communication. This is just like the sharing about how we live in another country, especially in the English speaking country, and how we adapt with that situation. Well, on the right side, we can see the proportion of the IELTS score, and yeah, as you can see, like almost 50% of the awardees had the overall score of IELTS. It's about 7.5 overall score, and then followed by the almost 40% of the participant has this have the score overall score 7, and then 8, even 11% of us get the overall score 8, and then the rest is 6.5. Well, as I mentioned before, that aside from mandatory class, we also have to choose the elective class. As you can see on the left side, almost 50% of the awardees choose the academic English, because this class is about how to write the essay or how to give the presentation that related into how the life of students is going to be. And 30% of awardee took GMAT class. This is actually the candidate that really want to apply to the MBA program or Master of Business Administration program, and the rest is GRE. Sorry, I forget about the what GRE is actually, but as I mentioned before, like it is actually an TPI in English, actually, and mostly university in US require this as one of their mandatory requirements. And then the second elective class, almost 40% of the awardees choose a statistic class, yeah, because many awardees, I think, choose to the MBA program and the Master of Public Policy program, or even that the data analytic program that and it require the skill or fundamental skill about statistics. So yeah, there are about 40% that 40% of us as a awardee to choose this class, statistics, and then more than 50% of us choose the SOP class. Yeah, SOP is a purpose. As I mentioned earlier, that this is the important class because we we are we were given tips to write the essay, about how to write the motivation letter, and then about how to yeah, the main point is how to write the proper statement of purpose, and then the rest just the academics. Well, this is the update of the LOA. LOA is the letter of acceptance, and this is the letter that stated that, oh, you are admitted into this university. Yeah, it's like a surat penerimaan from the university. And as per end of the January 2023, 45% of the awardees of Ministerial Scholarship 2022 have received the LOA, and 55% have not received the LOA. And if you look at the map chart on the right side, you can see that most of the awardees received the LA from the universities in the Australia. It's about the 25 LOS, and then followed by the Europe and US with 8 and 7 LOS. One of the reasons why um, there are more LOS coming from Australia's universities is because the way to um, um, the universities in Australia have like the simpler way to or simpler or minimum or simpler requirements for the candidate to apply to that university. Like they only require like the IELTS certificate, and then the CV or resume, and then you can ask some help from the agency like IDB to apply to the university, and you don't need to write your own essay. I mean, like this is for the master's degree case. Yeah. Yeah, you can submit that, and yeah, and then after probably some weeks or a few weeks later, you will get the admission decision whether you be accepted or not. It's like a bit different with the Europe and US universities that require more complex requirements. Like some university require a GRE as a mandatory requirement, and you have to write an essay, a statement of purpose, and then also you have to submit the recommendation letter that coming from your ex-supervisor when you were a university student, or yeah, some people that has the academic background that related to you, and then also um, the recommendation from the professional background. Yeah, and luckily I get my first LOA last week from University of Wisconsin-Madison in USA for the program is for Master of Public Policy. And then next, we're going to talk about the pre-departure, another session of the pre-departure program. That's called Leaders Talk. Basically, in the session, at the Leaders Talk session, there will be a guest from that has a leadership background. For my case, Pak Swahasil Nazara was invited into this event, and then we also had a session with the Helmi Yahya and then Professor Renal Pasali. He is the famous professor famous professor from University of Indonesia, and then also Pak Lucky Alfirman, Dirjen JPK. And the other activities is about outbound and then dining and then class activity. Yeah, this is outbound activity at Rumah Perubahan in Bekasi. So we had like the leadership program for a week in Rumah Perubahan. And then this is the situation on the right side. I want to show you this is the situation at the class. This is the IELTS preparation class. Yeah, actually, they are really the smart people and great people. I learned a lot from them. And then we also had a session in the dining hall every time, or in between the classes. Yeah, on the dining hall we usually like have a chit chat with the others, the other participants from the other class, from the other unit, and then we like exchange or discuss about something, and yeah, it's really beneficial for us to learn from each other. And then also in between the classes we also have a short break, and we also have the witty chat, and then yeah, refresh our mind. Well, this is the documentation about the farewell ceremony, because like as you know that, as you can guess probably, we are in the 3 months program, and then the schedule is really tight. And of course, after we get our IELTS test and we got our score, and then we prepared our essay or motivation letter or statement of purpose, it's really exhausting. And it also conclude the session of this pre-departure program training, and it was so amazing and really memorable for me because it's there are a lot of fun here. And yeah, I just want to show this is us, the awardees of Ministerial Scholarship 2022, and I found that meeting them is the excellent, or like the great opportunity for me to learn from them, and then we discuss about the many issues like relating the organization, relating with our work, and then what we are going to do in this organization, and what we are going to do after we accomplish our study. Yeah, probably it is a little bit video, only a simple video. This is us 56 awardees of Ministerial Scholarship. Well, I think that's all on my presentation. Hopefully this kind of information will be useful for you and or advantageous for you to help you to be more prepared if you're planning to apply into this scholarship. I think that's all, Mas Firman. I'll leave it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mas Dwiky, for such a great presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to the next session, which is discussion or time for question and answer session. I would like to have 3 questions from the participants. Please don't be shy or hesitate to ask. Please let me check from the meeting chat. Anyone?
Maybe I have one question, Simon.
So go ahead, Mas Andrea. Okay.
Yes. Mas Dwiky, I have one question about the interview test, which is contain a lot of things, background and research plan, how, yeah, lot of things about interview, which is the side of your essay, 1-page essay. Do you make it as honest as possible, or there are addition to elevate your 1-page essay to the interview test? Maybe it is us. Thank you.
Pardon me, Mas Andri. To confirm your questions, can you repeat that?
About the interview test, which is beside your berdasarkan your essay, 1-page essay. Do you make the essay as honest as it is, or there you make it an addition or spices or anything to elevate your essay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And also, please explain how you face the interview, Mas Dwiky. Thank you.
Well, I just directly answered that question, Mas Firman. Please
Yes. Are you ready to answer?
Okay.
If yes, go ahead.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, that the 1-page essay content about the background, why we choose the program, and then also our research plan, and then how it can relate or contribute to the organization. I think the key is the idea, the genuine of the idea, the genuinity of the idea. It has to be something that related into your work actually, and probably it doesn't have to be like the complex idea or like the advanced idea, but it can be like the simple idea, but you can explore it or explain it in a good way. I mean, like at least it can answer like 5y and it's w, and then I think you don't need to spice it up, because like um, the main point or the main thing is like this idea can be delivered into your reader as good as possible. That's my answer. Hopefully it's answer his question. And then how I dealt with the interview session. Well, I just probably being relaxed, yeah, because that I think that there's the key. Like you will be faced by the 3 user or interviewer that it is the echelon 1 unit, echelon 2 official from another or from across the unit or from the other units. And I think the first case, you need to be calm, and then you listen to their questions, and then if you need a time to think, just think about it. Don't you do not to be in a rush. Yeah, there will be a time like at least 40 minutes or almost an hour for the session. But if you need to think, just think, and then when you are ready to answer, you just answer. And probably you have to be more realistic and giving the example to more elaborate your main idea of the answer. And you need to be also prepared for the unexpected questions, and it's really possible happen. And in my case, I had several like unexpected questions, but I cannot show or discuss it here because I think it's a little bit like, yeah, really surprising questions. But yeah, I think that's the key. Hopefully it's answered.
Okay, thank you, Mas Dwiky.
Okay, great answer, Mas Dwiky. And then there is a question on the chat column from Mr. Lubis, Pak Lubis ya, or Mas Lubis Hadatusen from TSE. Let me speak the question. How would you like to prepare both divergent and convergent or multi-contingency plan? It means that about summoning the sum of chance or divergence, or just focus to one chance. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the questions, Mas Hadatusen Lubis. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, you use the advanced word, I think, but I'm trying to catch up your intention. I think if you are a DGSM employee, there are like regulations about how we should apply for the scholarship. Like if you already applied to one scholarship, you cannot apply to the other scholarship unless the process of the first scholarship is already done. So this kind of role automatically makes us just eligible for one scholarship, and then we can focus into one scholarship, and then we can like prepare for this, and then get into the selection process. And yeah, because I think I belong to the person that living at the present. So when I have the chance in front of me that this is a scholarship, I try to catch it, and then I try to deal with it. And yeah, actually, this is the first time I'm trying to apply for this scholarship, and yeah, luckily I can get it done and then for this scholarship. This answer answering your question, Mas Luis?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so the answer is clear enough, Mas Lubis. Okay, let me check the another question from meeting chat. Wait a second. I think there is no question. But maybe this is the last question if there are no more person to give the question. I hope, but I hope this is the last question because we have to get early to go home, Mr. Dwiky.
Couldn't agree more, Mas.
So please answer my question. The last question, Mas Dwiky. What is your advice to us to stay motivated to get scholarship program? Or maybe you have one purpose or one aim to get the scholarship, maybe from the internal factor or external factor.
Well, I'm trying to answer this. This is
Okay.
this is an intriguing question, actually. Well, I feel that in your work, you have to be like you'll be exposed into the more of pragmatism, and sometimes I feel like it's distract my way of thinking, and I cannot like thinking clearer than this. So I think by applying the scholarship and then going back into the academics or into the study academically, probably can balance the way of my thinking again, because like in my workplace I have to deal with I have to deal with many pragmatism, and then I have to balance it with something that like more academic, so it can be balanced. And yeah, that's why I yeah, motivated enough to get scholarship and study.
Yeah. So we have to balance from different factors of our life. Yeah, Mas Dwiky. Balance is the key.
Yeah, I believe that everyone has their own reason why they should get scholarship, but for my case, yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, with my laptop is frozen, so I can mute the volume. I think there is no more question here, and then finally we come to the end of this group discussion. Or maybe participant, any question? I hope there is no more question. So if there is no more question, I can draw several conclusions from Mas Dwiky presentation. First point, I think that Ministry Scholarship Program, or abbreviated with MINS, is one of the scholarship that is offered in Ministry of Finance. And the second one is the selection is quite competitive from 100 candidates in initial, and in the end just become under 60% for master degree, and just for PhD program. And then it consists of some specific tests that must be followed for the candidate. And the last, I think that the demography of the candidate is so interesting that give me the message like this. Every employee has the same chance, of course, for those who qualified. I think that's all for the conclusion. And then I would like to thank to Mas Dwiky for your informative and great sharing session, and all the participants for their very active
My big
participation.
pleasure, Mas Firman.
Okay. Hopefully, the presentation will give benefit for us. And finally, applaud the speaker and all of you. Thank you. I give it back to the MC. Please give the applause.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mas
thank you.
Firman.
Okay, thank you.
The discussion session about Ministerial Scholarship 2022 and its pre-departure training has ended. It has surely been a delight for us as we can enrich our knowledge related to the topic. We would like to thank the speaker, Mas Dwiky, and the participation of all members who have been very enthusiastic throughout the whole event. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for any mistakes or something that you make you uncomfortable during this session. We're looking forward to seeing you at the future event. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Mas Andi. Thank you, Mas Firman,
Thank you,
for
Mas
inviting me
Dwiky,
here.
Mas Andri,
Thank
and
you,
all the
Mas Firman.
participants. Thank you.
See you.
You.
Let's
See
go
you.
home and have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend too.